Okay, we got an interesting one today. Today is just a single comic book, and it is this brand new, just came out yesterday. Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. Everything's going crazy right now with horror titles. Sergeant Rock is basically the poor man Nick Fury. I call him that because, Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, they fought the Nazis. They took care of all this. Then Nick Fury actually got a promotion and became head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sergeant Rock, he never got no promotion. He was just some leader of this, they were a team of grunts, but they did some more classified DC style missions. But unfortunately, DC doesn't have an organization like S.H.I.E.L.D., so Sergeant Rock just went away. Never got promoted, never came to any fruition. His claim to fame is if maybe there were some times when the Justice League went back in time, alternate universes and stuff, but now he's getting his chance to shine. All right, all right, all right. He's fighting these undead people. The comic, like I said, just came out. We're going to take a look at it. Let's get it underneath the camera. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. This is issue 1 of 6. It's from the DC Horror Presents. Everybody's kicking it with the horror right now, and any company can lie and say it's because of this or that. It's because Marvel's going all out with the Werewolf by Night Halloween special on Disney. It looks like an old Universal monster movie. DC doesn't want to be left out. Plus, it's I shouldn't say it's just that. You've got all these other big hits like House of Slaughter, Something's Killing the Children. So everybody's trying to get back into the horror thing, and that's cool. So Sergeant Rock, who is basically he's basically Sergeant Fury who didn't get a promotion, DC icon. This story starts out in 1944. We're in the war here with Germany. Hitler kills someone, and Sergeant Rock and his team are out. They're on patrol. They're just cutting Nazis down left and right, just dozens of them. But they notice they keep coming, and he gets a call, says we've got to meet you. This does not take long to read, just FYI. They have to go back to headquarters. And they, Sergeant Rock and his team go to the Allied headquarters, and they're telling them, let me go back here. They're showing them this dead body. And they're like, well, what's so special about it? A dead body? Like, well, he was dead before. This is what killed him the first time. Here's what killed him the second time. There's an electronic implant in his brain. And that's when we cut over back to Germany. And what Hitler's having this doctor do is he's taking dead soldiers and he's putting these implants in them, which is regenerating them as zombies. Now, keep in mind, this is during the war, so they get these newfangled pieces of equipment Sergeant Rock and his team do to take care of business. They get walkie-talkies. They get, which they call them, talk on the phone gimmicks, so they don't have to yell. They get binoculars with night vision. They even get thermal sensors so they can see things behind walls. They're having a good old time with it, and they get called down to the detention center where they have caught one of the Nazi zombies. This ugly son of a bitch and all that. We don't know what they're capable of. Well, he shows them as he bends the bars open. He hops out, and Sergeant Rock and his team dive on this zombie. Ad for DC versus Vampires, which is really good. And as you can see, this whole team is fighting on this guy. They said nothing's cutting on us, nothing like that. Choking him out. They're shooting him. Finally, they get a shot in the brain, and that kind of makes him, it doesn't kill him like it does in the zombie movies right off, but it does mess him up. Excuse me, I had a burp. I'm drinking coffee. Mess him up a little bit. Then they just gun him down. They chop his head, and that's when Sergeant Rock's like, this is one guy. And if Hitler has an army of these goons, we're in deep trouble. We're in for a hell of a fight. And they cut back to the regeneration ward, and you can see here's one of the dead, a dead Nazi. All at once it heals. It's getting the regeneration stuff, pops into his veins. And he's up. Ich lebe weiter. No time like the present to be continued. The Joker, the man who stopped laughing, had superpowered toys, which are fucking awesome because I played with them as a kid and I'm buying them now. This was, like I said, this is a quick read. I didn't like the artwork in it. I like the cover art, and yes, like everything now, there's multiple variants. The art inside I didn't think was that great, but the story's cool. The story reminds me heavily of Uber, which I've reviewed the first 2 books of Uber already on this channel. Go back and watch those. I see a ton of similarities. Also has a lot of similarities to the Wolfenstein video games, preferably Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which is my favorite of the bunch. But this is Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. I just realized they said check out it out it out. Makes no sense. It was a cool book. I liked it. I like that it's a mini series because I don't need a monthly series of that going on for years. It really did remind me of Uber. Heavily reminded me of Uber. And a little bit of the movie, was that Overlord, I think was the name of the movie? Cool freaking movie. Anyhow, so cool I had to think about the title. Anyway, as you can see, it's a quick read. I would say pick it up, but I would also say if you're a comic collector and you buy individual issues, pick it up. You know, it's going to just be 6 issues. You know, you'll like it. It was pretty cool, as you can see. If you're just somebody who wants to read it, if you're not into individual issues, I say just wait for the trade. Everything gets collected. I'll probably even have a few extra things in there. But it's Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead. I'm going to show you the cover again. This is one of the covers. There are a few of them out there. Just came out, so go to your local comic shop. You'll be able to find it. Like I said, individual issues. If you like them, collect them, pick it up. Trade paperback guy, I highly recommend you at least get the trade to read it because it's pretty cool. It's promising so far, but that was issue 1. I guess next month we can take a look at issue 2. Until that, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me if you like Sergeant Rock or if you like Nick Fury. That would be interesting. And we'll see you again.